The second question to be answered was, what far-reaching moral consequences in both the economic and political fields is the Pope talking about?
For such cooperation to be possible, religious bodies, including institutions linked to the Catholic Church, need to be free to act in accordance with their own principles and specific convictions based upon the faith and the official teaching of the Church.
What a statement! Let's have a closer look at it. Religious bodies linked to the Catholic Church includes all religions within the ecumenical movement, because the Catholic Church still insists on being the only true Church of Jesus Christ, which the Vatican confirmed by a document issued on July 10, 2007. The next point is institutions linked to the Catholic Church. What institutions are linked to the Catholic Church? Most educational, financial, religious institutions, as well as charity organizations, and many other institutions can be traced back to the Vatican. Remember, all roads lead to Rome. So religious bodies and institutions linked to the Catholic Church, now we quote him again, need to be free to act in accordance with their own principles, and note, he doesn't say or. The word and here implies a coercive inclusion. And specific convictions based upon the faith and the official teaching of the Church, which is the Roman Catholic Church. Remember where the Pope talked about the lack of a solid ethical foundation being the cause of the economic crisis? And that he then stated religion would help the political world to discover these lacking moral or ethical principles? Remember that ethics will become the defining quality of 21st century business, and that Bible prophecy foretells that no one could buy or sell unless he accepts the mark of the beast. What are those specific convictions the Pope is talking about? And what is the mark of the beast? Bible prophecy identifies this beast to be the papacy. In the context of what the Pope said, the mark of the papacy has to do with specific ethical or moral principles. Let's see what the Church is telling us about her mark. In the Catholic record of September 1st, 1923, the Vatican admits, Sunday is our mark of authority. The Church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that fact. In the Catholic Press of August 1900, we read, Sunday is a Catholic institution, and its claim to observance can be defended only on Catholic principles. From beginning to end of Scripture, there is not a single passage that warrants the transfer of weekly public worship from the last day of the week to the first. And in a Catholic Church newsletter it stated, perhaps the boldest thing, the most revolutionary change the Church ever did, happened in the 1st century. The holy day, the Sabbath, was changed from Saturday to Sunday. The day of the Lord, Dies Domini, was chosen not from any direction noted in the Scriptures, but from the Church's sense of its own power. People who think that the Scriptures should be the sole authority should logically become Seventh-day Adventists and keep Saturday holy. So the Vatican is asking the civil authorities to cooperate with the Church in the legislation of Sunday as the national day of rest. As we can read in the Roman Catechism, the civil authorities should be urged to cooperate with the Church in maintaining and strengthening this public worship of God, and to support with their own authority the regulations set down by the Church's pastors. For it is only in this way that the faithful will understand why it is Sunday and not the Sabbath day that we now keep holy. The Bible tells us in Ezekiel 20, verse 20, And hallow my Sabbaths, and they shall be a sign between me and you. that ye may know that I am the Lord your God. God has given man the Sabbath as a sign between him and them, as a test of their loyalty. The change of the Sabbath is the sign or mark of the authority of the Roman Church. Warning: the Bible tells us, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Let's read the Pope's statement one more time.
For such cooperation to be possible, religious bodies, including institutions linked to the Catholic Church, need to be free to act in accordance with their own principles and specific convictions based upon the faith and the official teaching of the Church. In this way, such basic rights as religious freedom, freedom of conscience, and freedom of association will be guaranteed.
Religious freedom. For those linked with the Catholic Church, there's plenty of religious freedom to enjoy within the ecumenical movement, as well as without. Believe what you want, as long as you act in accordance with the specific convictions of the Church, as long as you accept her mark of authority. Any dissidents will face serious trouble. Ellen G. White states, if popery or its principles shall again be legislated into power, the fires of persecution will be rekindled against those who will not sacrifice conscience and the truth in deference to popular errors. This evil is on the point of realization. When secular rulers unite with ministers of religion to dictate in matters of conscience, then it will be seen who really fear and serve God. And in Acts 5, verse 29, we read, we ought to obey God rather than man. Benedict XVI said,
I would invite all of you, therefore, within your respective spheres of influence, to seek ways of promoting and encouraging dialogue between faith and reason at every level of national life. Your readiness to do so is already implied in the unprecedented invitation extended to me today.
Great Britain, a once Protestant nation, now invites the Pope to speak in Westminster Hall, the oldest building of the parliamentary estate, which played a central role in British history. And the Pope conveys a clear message. He requires a union of secular rationality and religious belief. In other words, a union of church and state. Why? In order to be free to act in accordance with specific convictions based upon the faith and the official teaching of the Church. In order to establish her mark of authority. The only thing restricting the Catholic Church's freedom to act in accordance with these specific convictions is that she has not the political and executive power she would need to do so. Therefore, the request to be free to act out these specific convictions is actually a request for political support to legislate the Church's mark of authority, which is Sunday sacredness. Ellen White comments, Roman Catholic principles will be taken under the care and protection of the state. This national apostasy will speedily be followed by national ruin. The Pope said,
your readiness to do so is already implied in the unprecedented invitation extended to me today. Thank you, and God bless you all.
And his distinguished audience approved him with a great and ongoing applause at the end of his speech. That's why Andrew Brown stated, this was the end of the British Empire. Henceforth, Great Britain is a Catholic nation.